Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Ebbie Reviews, and I'm going to be reviewing This Is Us, season 3, episode 1. I've heard it's been called Ave Maria or $9. I'm going to call it $9 because that is what played most prominently for rather than Ave Maria, which is the Hail Mary, which had to do with a football player, which I will get there. So we start out with this football player getting ready to leave the house with his family and everything there. And the funny thing I heard was the sister was like, "Mom, I'm going out with such and so," and she was like, "Don't get pregnant." That's such a mom thing to say. Yeah, don't come back knocked up. Thanks, appreciate it. And so we then switch over to Kate and Toby, who are laying in the bed after the wedding because they're still dressed in their wedding clothes, and she's like, "Let's make a baby." And of course Toby is down for the get down, which we love because I love Toby. He's one of my favorite characters. And we fast forward to it's the big three's birthday, of course, because that's normally how every season starts. It's their birthday. So we see I gotta figure out how I'm gonna take this because it jumps around so much. It's hard to go in chronological order, and today I don't have any notes, so I'm going strictly off of memory. Y'all gonna have to forgive me if I miss something. I promise to take notes and do better the next time. I'm just trying to get this out before the new week starts, and I am behind. So Randall and Beth. Randall and Beth, of course, are doing great. They're going to have a birthday party for Randall and Kevin at their house. Beth, of course, has suspicions that her cousin and Kevin are knocking boots, which, of course, they are. And, of course, at the beginning, we think that she is upset about them knocking boots because, you know, she don't really dig Kevin like that, and she loves her cousin, and you know, but what we come to find out is that she is concerned for Kevin. She says, "My cousin is a man eater. She will chew you up and spit you out, and I love you, and I don't want you to be hurt," which of course broke me down because I was like, you know, this show does it to me every single time. So we also have the thing with Deja. We see Deja's mom give up parental rights to Deja, and Deja's mama says that her dad, they asked about the dad, and she was like, well, the dad doesn't want her either. So I don't know if that's going to come back later because I feel like that was significant. And then Deja actually goes to see her dad later on, so I don't know if we're just never going to see Dad again, or if that was not as significant as we think it's going to be. But I feel like that's going to come back and play a part. But Deja is in counseling, and she's trying to deal with her feelings and stuff from when you know, those feelings just don't go away. And she's a young person, and you know, trying to express those feelings is what had her bashing up the car at the end of last season. So they have her in counseling, trying to get her together. So it's Randall's birthday, and so Randall, being Randall and super extra, he takes Deja out to the apartment building that they bought that belonged to where his dad stayed. And he was like, he was trying to explain to her, you know, we don't come from too far, a different place, you know. And so he's like, I want you to know that we love you, and we think you're magnificent, and we would like to adopt you. And so Deja is like, just because you came and showed me this little raggedy apartment building doesn't mean that we have come from the same place. Your family has always loved you and always wanted you, and you had not one but two dads who were amazing and wanted you and loved you. And so that she's like, you just do whatever you want. And so she sneaks, they come, and Randall is like, his face is cracked and on the floor, and his feelings is hurt as usual. But she's like, can we go back now? And so they go back to the house, and she sneaks out. And so we all thinking, oh God, this baby done snuck out the house, and then she's gonna run away and all this other stuff, and it's gonna be a whole big dramatization, and who, Lord, we don't need that. So what happens is this Deja goes to this store, and there's a man there, and she was like, I know you're my daddy. You don't have to recognize the fact that you're my dad. You don't have to say that you're my dad. Just know that I know. Just know that I know that you're my dad. And she was saying, I need something from you. I need you, but what you thinking I need is not what I need. And she was like, I am with people who think that I am magnificent and that I am worthy and that I am enough, even though you do not. And so it cuts away and it comes back to Deja, and she comes in the house, and he was like, and they were like, where are you coming from? You were in your room? And she was like, I snuck out. And he was like, and Randall was like, what you mean you snuck out? What you mean? She's like, and she said, and I went to get this. And he was like, is that for me? Cut him off mid-argument before he could even ratchet up to you're in trouble. She completely disarmed him and cut him off by getting him some sneakers as a birthday gift. And she says, and this what got me right in the feelings as well. She's like, and those adoption papers, you can sign those too. So they're going to be a family. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting verklempt right now. That fact. Woo. Love this show. I cry every week. I'm a big tissue. I am only oh God, I'm not a crier. So for me to be emotional about a show, that means it's really, really good. Because I'm not. Because sometimes, thanks Shane Dawson, I think I'm a borderline sociopath. Appreciate that. But it is what it is. So we go now. I'm gonna go to Kate and Toby's storyline. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it by each person. Kate and Toby's storyline, because Toby is one of my favorites. They are at the doctor's office, and the doctor is saying, you know, IVF is very dangerous. You know, you have this disease, I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm glad they gave her some type of ailment and not just, it's just because your weight you can't get pregnant. Because I would just like to say that I have been fat my whole nigga life, and I have given birth 4 times. So please don't say you're fat so therefore you cannot get pregnant, because that is absolutely not the case. Now, I wasn't as fat as, not as fat as I used to be, but, and I am not as, when I gave birth, I wasn't as old as Kate. I had my first baby at 18 and my last baby at 23. However, I gave her 4 times, vaginally, with no issues. One birth, I had gestational diabetes, which is that one over there. She been jacking me up ever since. But other than that, no issues, no nothing. So I'm just putting that out there because I was almost a little offended at the, oh, you're fat so you can't get pregnant. Which, that's not how. It's not how it works. But okay. So, at first I wanted to punch the doctor in the face when she was like, oh, you fat and you have this issue and I'm not taking you on as a client. I got other partners and stuff, and your case is impossible. You ain't never gonna have no baby. So sorry. So sad. Too bad. You can go and get out my office. I wanted to cuss her and punch her in her face. However, she redeemed herself because she called them back in. After Kate and Toby had a conversation about, you know, fuck IVF, we don't have to do that. You know, there's other ways for us to have children, blah, 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 blah. We're going to be parents. And they get a call from that same doctor who calls them back into the office and says, I am sorry. Even though it seems impossible, it's my job. That is my job, to make the impossible possible. So we're going to try this. And she started giving them, and she was like, you have a 90% rate of failure. That just means there's 10% that means that this could actually happen. And so here's where my concern came in. Apparently, because Toby takes medication for his depression, it is affecting his sperm. So without consulting his wife or the doctor, he takes all of his pills and flushes them down the toilet because he wants to give Kate as much chance for this to happen without him being a hindrance to the process. I see this backfiring big time. This also, it may explain why Toby, in the season finale of last season, Toby was in the bed and couldn't seem to get up. May have something to do with it. Now, we still haven't figured out in the flash forward who her is and who they're going to see. That would be Randall, Tess, and then Randall called Toby. Now, when he called Toby, I noticed that Toby was in the bed by himself, like he sleeps alone, and I didn't see his wedding ring. So I don't know where Kate is in the future. Is she the she they're going to see? Is she dead? What is happening? That I got questions, and lots of questions, and we'll see what happens. As for our lovely friend Kevin, I think I already explained, he is getting ready to do the premiere for his movie. He is really feeling Beth's cousin. I want to know when they're going to take that trip to Vietnam that was showed in the Flash in the season finale, because apparently their relationship is going to grow and they're going to go to Vietnam to see about Jack and what happened and with his brother. Mark this down. I said it. But yeah, trying to figure out what's happening there and what's going on. They are in the lovey-dovey stage, so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, that's all we really have for Kevin, and the fact that Beth loves him and she wants to protect his heart. So we're going to quickly jump to Kate and Rebecca and Jack and their horrible first, oh my God, that first date was terrible. So they go on a date, and first of all, Jack only has $9 to go on this date. And the date is terrible. It starts to rain, and she was like, oh, do you want to buy an umbrella? And his response is, it's not raining that hard. That's the wrong answer. I don't know what happens. But then he explains to her, like only Jack can, in one of his great Jack speeches, is that, you know, I only had $9 to go on this date, and you know, I was counting every dollar. It was $5 to get in. It was $2 for a caramel apple and a hot cocoa, and only left me with $2 left. And what if you can't take a girl to the carnival and you don't have any money for her to play the games? And I wanted you to be able to play the games if you wanted to, which is why I couldn't afford to buy the umbrella. Okay. That's explained. That's perfectly understandable. I get it. No problem. So she's like, usually I don't do this. And she leans in and lays one on him. And because Jack is fully aware that she is the woman. So she kisses him, and then she goes into the house. So we go to, they are finna go on another date. Hair on my mouth. And Jack pulls up, and some man that knocked on Kate's door, she thinking it's Jack, opens the door, and it's a dude. And she was like, why are you here? Who invited you to this party? And he has this big thing of flowers and kisses her, and Jack happens to pull up at the time and see this. So clearly we know that Jack and Rebecca end up together, but I am like, really, Harpo, who this man? What? No. So I am fully ready to dive into this season. I can't wait. I absolutely love this show. It comes on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock on NBC. If you are as big a fan as I am, I do listen to This Is Us podcast with Key and Clyde. You can look them up on Facebook. You can Google it if you want to listen to the podcast. Join the group on Facebook and join the discussion. They will read your comments. They read my comments all the time because I act crazy, but you know, it's just me. But yeah, that is my review for This Is Us, and I will catch you guys in the next one for Manifest. Peace out.